that the science-based pathways for 1.5 degrees show where we need to go. We need to cut gas by more than 1/5 from recent levels by 2030, at least half by 2035, more than 90% by 2050. We need to cut oil use as well, more than 1/5 by 2030, again, 40% by 2035, close to 80% at least by 2050. Coal use, we all know, has to be halved by 2030, 80% out by 2035, and nearly all gone by 2040. But instead, when you look at what governments have planned, oil and gas production would grow out to 2050, increase out to 2050. And coal production to 2040 would still be basically unchanged at present levels. That's what governments are actually planning now. Now, we've been looking at fossil fuel phase-out deadlines from different perspectives compatible with the 1.5 degree limit. So we know that OECD countries need to be essentially out of coal entirely by 2030, and globally, all coal out of power stations by 2040 at the latest. Now, the planned rise in fossil fuel supply, the planned rise of governments, is both an economic and a climate risk. Across coal, oil and gas, the production planned by 10 or fewer high-income countries alone would already exceed global levels consistent with 1.5 degrees by 2040. These countries, Australia, Canada, Germany, Kuwait, Norway, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, the UK and the USA would already exceed 1.5 degree consistent levels of emissions globally from their own production by 2040. So it seems to me that if these countries continue to produce as planned, these 10 countries alone could blow us through the 1.5 degree limit. These are rich countries, would have devastating impacts on low-income countries and poor people everywhere.